Hey everybody, once again, it's Kevin back with another Top Producer Spotlight, and today I'm very honored to have a guy that I consider a friend and a mover and shaker in the industry, the CEO of leadPops, Mr. Andrew Pawlak. How you doing today, bud?
What's up, brother? Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, listen, Andrew, you're an amazing business guy. You've got the sales background. You've talked a lot about marketing. You are an author. I have it right here. It's a great book, the Mortgage Marketing Manifesto. So I think we could talk a little bit about that. As you know, if they're an LO out there, what are some things they need to be doing from a marketing standpoint to enhance their brand, and especially in this current market? What would you advise to those folks out there today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I answer this question pretty consistently because it's a great question. It's just like, what would you do, or what's the most common thing that people need help with? And it has not changed over the years. I still see a lot of the same kind of mistakes or small tweaks that you can make to the stuff you're already doing is where I like to start. So it's not like go a completely different direction, pivot 180 degrees, and instead of doing that, go over here, so it's that whole shiny object type thing where people just look for the next exciting thing and are always jumping from one to another. So I think it all kind of ties back to make the stuff you're doing work better. It's that whole optimize, right? If you're putting time and effort into something, let's make sure that we're doing it strategically. Like we're thinking through, like, what is the end result we're looking for? Like if when I put out a blog post, I just wrote 1,200 word article about, 2 or 3K loans. It's great information. People got to read this if they're thinking about home renovation loans or this option that's out there that they don't know about. And you just kind of release it into the wild, and nobody ever really engages with it. They don't comment. They don't, interact. They don't call you because of this wonderful article you've written. Typically, what's missing is there's no call to action. So there's no directive language telling people what exactly you're wanting them to do. So if we wrote this article with the hopes of getting more loan applications, understand that apply now is not a good call to action. Like if I just read your article, I just watched a video, I just received an email from you, just saw a post on social media, whatever it is you did to get yourself out there to get some eyeballs, apply now is not the next step a consumer typically takes from just cold saw a social media post. Oh, that looks interesting. Didn't know about that. Okay. Apply now for a mortgage. Total disconnect. Like that's what I still see loan officers and mortgage brokers doing. They either don't have a call to action. They don't have any directive language telling someone what they want them to do. So it's just hope and pray, cross my fingers. If I do it enough, people are going to remember me. They're going to think about me. If I put enough emails out there every month, month in, month out, when the time comes for a mortgage, they're going to remember old Glenn, and they're going to email me back, and they're going to do a loan with me. That there's more to it than that, and understanding also, again, apply now. I call it the apply or die like approach. That doesn't really work very well. If I'm just telling you, go to my website and apply online, that's really not a good call to action for people who have never spoken with you. A referral is not a slam dunk from a realtor, right? That's a good kind of segue to a relationship from a word of mouth, but it's not a slam dunk, right? So if they go to your site, if they Google you, because they're not going to just call these days, they go online to Google you, they want to look up some reviews, they find you, they hit your website. The only thing on their website is stuff to read and a loan application. They're not going to do that loan application. So what I encourage people to do is you look at what Lending Tree is doing. You look at what Veterans United does. You look at what Quicken Loans is doing. TheMortgageReports.com. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Take a look. Spend 5-10 minutes in the afternoon if you've got some downtime. Take a look at what the biggest players in the industry are doing and start to see that there's a formula all these companies are following. It's literally a good call to action. See if you qualify. Find out how much money you can save. Calculate a lower mortgage payment. All kinds of different variations of kind of leading you into the next click, which is not a loan application. It's not just you click and all of a sudden you're creating an account, you're giving up your social security number. They start asking questions. They start asking really easy questions, and they don't go for the jugular. It's not just give me your name, email, phone number, tell me where you live, give me your social security number. Crazy stuff people ask. You'd never do in real life some of what we're seeing people doing on the internet. Like that's where you've got to be extra considerate of this person who doesn't quite trust you, probably just clicked on your page for the first time ever. We've got to be very, tactful in how we ask for some of that information. So what these big companies figured out is Don't ask for contact info right up front. People aren't comfortable with that. Don't go for the jugular. Ask easy stuff first. Like, hey, okay, cool. What kind of house is it? Single family, townhome. Like, make the options point and click, right? So they present like 15 or 20 questions in this really kind of fun, interactive way. They don't ask you everything all at once. Like, they break it down in a format, and you can mimic some of this stuff. There's form builders out there. Like, you don't even have to be a leadPops client. You can kind of recreate some of this stuff with the tools that are available online. But why reinvent the wheel? Take a look at what the biggest companies out there are doing and understand that you could be doing that same stuff yourself. But when you send out an email and it's just a bunch of stuff to read with your phone number in the email signature, you think that someone's going to get that email and their natural instinct is, ooh, I'm going to call up Gary over here. That's a great email. That's, but like, think about like, oh yeah, when I take a step back and think about it from my consumer standpoint, that's probably not going to happen. That's why when I send out these emails and let's just say 15% of the 1,000 people actually opened my email, it's okay. It's not bad click-through rate, right? Open rate. So 150 people saw that email, looked at it, and did nothing. That tells us, hey, there's probably room for improvement. What if in that email you said, hey, find out how much you can save. It only takes 60 seconds. Click below. And I clicked on that, and now it pulled me to a really kind of fun interactive quiz or questionnaire that didn't just say, give me your contact info and your home address. Tell me where you live. Give me your social. Apply for a mortgage. All these disconnects happen in so many steps of the formula. And a lot of mortgage people just don't consider any of this stuff. They're just thinking, oh, I got to go through these motions. I got to email my database. No one ever responds. Or I got 1,000 people to my site last month and I got like no leads out of it. These people must just not be serious. These aren't these are just tire kickers and looky-loos and rate shoppers. It's like, that's a very expensive mistake to make when you make like $3,000 on a loan, $5,000 on a loan. So is there room for improvement? Can we mimic what some of these big companies are doing? Absolutely. Don't forget the call to action, because so many of you don't even include anything. And the other half of the folks out there, I would say it's very few doing these things correctly still. But their call to action is apply. Apply for a loan. They send out an email blast and at the bottom, apply now. Put out a social media post. Rates are the lowest they've ever been. Click the link below to apply with me. And it's like, dude, take a step back. First date style. There's certain things you don't do on a first date, right?
Right.
Think about it like that. So be a little more tactful. Ask some questions. Get to know them a little bit better. And then you can kind of move in a little further once you've established that relationship. But get the call to action on there and don't just make it apply for a loan.
As they're out there, like if you're talking to a loan officer today, what are some misconceptions that they may have about what you guys do or what you can provide for them? And what is the benefit of leadPops right now if somebody's interested in getting their own website built and lead conversion optimization?
Yeah. So conversion rate optimization, super fancy way of saying just make it work better. Make it work. Make it so that you're not just focused on driving traffic, which so many people are so caught up in that. I got to get traffic. I got to get clicks. I need Google, put me on Google, run Facebook ads, this and that. They don't stop to really think, well, where am I driving these people though? Because that's just as important. Driving a bunch of traffic and clicks without converting those clicks into leads doesn't do you a whole lot of good when you're in the mortgage industry. So we set out to start with that. Like before we can do marketing, which is something we offer, we do drive traffic, we do Facebook ads, we do Google ads, we do different ways, different campaigns and means of getting people to your website or to your landing pages. But we can't do any of that if we haven't optimized first to convert a click into a lead. Like we got to convince that person that hits your page to give you their name, email, phone number, and ideally tell you a little bit more about who they are and what they're looking for. Otherwise, you're just getting a whole lot of clicks. As far as misconceptions, I think it goes for almost anything in marketing or any kind of tech. It's not a magic bullet. You're not going to sign up and just leads start to fill up your CRM. Whiteboard's awesome, great CRM for us to plug into, but you're not going to get anything out of the solution if you're not promoting it, if you're not driving any traffic to it. So some people sign up, they just shelf it. They don't do anything with it. They put no effort into promoting it. They don't use any traffic source. They don't hire a marketing person. So if you just put it on the shelf, it's not going to do anything for you. But we do a lot on our end in terms of the onboarding process, in terms of training, providing resources for people who might not have a big budget or really any outstanding or additional budget to get results. So
It's funny, we obviously run into the same problems here at Whiteboard, but it truly is an essence of like salespeople. We are not patient people. Like this is a sales guy talking to another sales guy here. This is not in our nature to be patient. But I think you're preaching to the choir that like, and those folks out there that are buying into these tech systems is you have to put the investment in behind it, or else it's not going to work. It's not some. If it did work by itself, we'd be a whole lot more expensive, and they'd call that AI, and we would charge you thousands upon thousands of dollars a month for it. But I think you said on one of your websites, what you guys have like 80 different places where somebody can click and start to move through the process or something like that.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, absolutely. So it's about 75, depending on the template, minimum of 75. Some of them have 90 or more. We call them lead conversion touch points. So meaning within that website, within the content, there's all kinds of content about loan programs and you know, products and solutions. But in that content, there's calls to action across the top, in the sidebar, in the content, there's links and buttons kind of nested in the content. So as you're reading about a VA loan, right in the content, check my eligibility. You know, see if you're eligible for a VA loan. Oh, that sounds interesting. It only takes 60 seconds. You know, things like that you kind of sprinkle on there as an add-on just to further solidify them thinking, oh, wow, this isn't any kind of big commitment. It's super easy for me, even right now on the time that I have on this website, to kind of get an answer or to learn something or to see if I'm qualified or if I'm eligible. So there's a whole list of those kinds of keywords and phrases that we recommend. You know, calculate my savings, find out how much home you can afford. You know, these kinds of things are very much enticing, and they lead people to kind of feel like, hey, I'm going to get an answer from this, or I'm going to learn something, versus just applying for a mortgage, which, think about like the commitment that is. If I just found you on Google for the first time ever, I'm just going to do a loan application. Most people don't do that unless you're working with them. You've already got a relationship. They trust you. And now you're telling them, hey, by the way, instead of like doing this at the coffee shop, why don't you do this online? I've got a loan application. It's secure. It's, you know, you direct them there as a service tool, right? And not a way to generate new clients.
If folks are interested in leadPops, somebody heard this today and they said, I need to change, you know, my direction, where I'm going. How can they find you guys? What do they need to do?
leadpops.com. We make it really easy. Free trial, got 30 days to try it out and check it out for yourself. There's also a demo request form right on the page. You're going to start to see some of that logic I talked about, me recommending you do. We do it too. Like we drink our own champagne, I guess you could say. So you're going to see that same formula is right on our site, but we'll ask you some questions because it helps us prepare for the phone call, helps us learn a little bit about you. That way we hit the ground running when we have that conversation. So we do what's called a digital marketing assessment, free DMA. It's a scorecard we provide you. We evaluate you. We let you know what we're seeing in terms of like your score, and we grade you. It's fair, but we want to know like, hey, this is some of what we recommend. So you're going to get value whether or not you even sign up with us from that phone call. So it's free, it's complimentary, there's no pressure, but we'll walk you through some stuff, not just show you what we do, but also make some recommendations that you can take away that'll help you out with your business.
Man, it just goes to prove. I don't really have I don't have people on here that aren't good people. I don't engage in these, and like people don't put the customer first. And you guys continue to prove that you do that. You take care of us as well as one of your partners. We love the partnership. You're so easy to work with. I can't recommend folks enough. Like if you need that help, like this is it. This is what you get. This is Andrew. This is his sincerity. I asked him, I said, hey, come be on this interview with me. Like instantaneously, yes, let's get it on the schedule. Yeah, you're great people. You guys are doing great things, changing the industry. Thank you so much for the time, my friend. Really appreciate talking to you.
Kevin, it's been fun. Thank you so much for having us. Look forward to talking to you again.
Yes, sir.